Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bronco Wild Outdoors Extreme Bronco Live Sunday night. How about an audio check? Since I've been off for a few weeks, I want to make sure I have everything plugged in right. What do you think? Um, Hope everyone's doing well. We're back. Gavin is doing some camping on spring break with a friend,
Yep.
and so Becky and I are here. So, hey, let me know if you can hear us or not. So we have some pretty cool stuff we want to talk about tonight. I don't have a video yet that we're doing this on, but we're going to be talking about the Bronco Everglades, the snorkel part. I have a video coming out this week. That's going to be pretty cool. First thing we're going to talk about is Supercell East. Hey, Matt, thanks for that sound check. Christopher, thank you as well. Overlanding for fun. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, Tim, I tell you, I've been seeing your pictures of your posting of your project on your Bronco, and let me tell you, I've been I'm like Supercell's like 10 days away. I just want to remind you that dash looks like it's about 10 days away from being back together. But it looks like you know what you're doing. It's an awesome project. Cannot wait to see it. That's going to be pretty cool. I do appreciate everyone's sound check, and we're going to go ahead and kind of briefly get this out of the way. I do want to thank each and every one of you for your condolences. For my brother passing away, we did take the last week off because just couldn't do it, which he would probably be mad at me because I wasn't here doing it. But we're back tonight, and so I do want to say I appreciate that. And moving forward, we're just talking Bronco stuff and going out of town and all that good stuff. So Becky, what do you think? Not knowing. Oh, well, look at here. Tim said the dash is back together. Great,
Awesome.
Great job. Great job. Hey, I'd like to have you on here, Tim, and talk about that. Not like putting you on the spot, right? I'd like to talk to you and see how you're doing with your project. And we have a big dog, a golden doodle. So if something goes crazy, it's because she yanked the cord out of the way. So.
Yeah. She's
But anyway,
made her appearance a little earlier this time.
So what do you think about Supercell East? If Gavin was here, we could really get into the back and the forth. Him and I had.
Well, I'm a newbie because I haven't been before. So.
Well, I'm still a newbie. I mean, I've been once, but
Right.
that doesn't make me like, an expert. Like I went one time and it was really cool. I think I mentioned this before, car shows. You've heard me mention this. Well, you remember the Virginia Beach car show where, sometimes there's little clicks and everything. And I guess that's like everything. But with the Bronco Super Celebration East, everyone that we met, they were great. They were really, really good. And just welcomed us, right? And so this year we get to go with our Broncos. We're actually bringing both of them. Right, doggy. I think my dog wants to say hi. So, but anyway, we're going to go have fun. And we are staying. So here's the thing, what we're going to do. We're staying over in Pigeon Forge. So we're not right in the area of the visitor center. So what I'd like, I think what we'll do is one night when we're there, we're just going to post, hey, here's where we're going to be eating for dinner. Wouldn't it be great if as many of us could get together and have a meet and greet and say hello to each other and actually, get to meet in person. So that'd be cool. Otherwise, we would definitely see you at the event. So we're definitely looking forward to that. I think you can see I'm getting a little giddy about it.
Yeah.
So
you're counting down the days.
I am. It's like 10 days away, right?
I'm excited.
10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you like your Bronco? And sorry, I've got too much light on you there.
I really like it. I'm still enjoying it. And it's funny because in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, the Bronco ladies, somebody was asking about the drive, like if it was real bumpy, and I had to comment because it's great. Even after long drives, you don't feel like you've been beaten up. It's just, it is truly a good everyday driver.
So you said that with our Outer Banks trip.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like it's not an 11-hour. It's not an 11-hour.
But it's still for that trip. We were in the car a lot that day, like 3 hours down and then driving and then 3 hours back. So yeah, it was a lot of driving, but it was very comfortable.
And by the way, we need to talk a little bit about Johnny and Marie when they came down and we did the Corolla Beach drive thing. It was really a good time.
That was so fun.
We'll talk about that. So anyway, and don't hold me to this exact timeline, but it's roughly 35 minutes between the event area over by the visitor center in Townsend over to Pigeon Forge. And there's a few reasons. At first we talked about renting, a cabin, and of course all the hotels around there are booked anyway. There was only one place I wanted to really stay at, but remember the wedding booked the place out. Like,
Yeah.
what are the chances? But anyway,
It
good for them.
happens.
Congratulations to whoever's getting married down there that same weekend. But it was, let's see here. I think over in Pigeon Forge, there's so much to do. So after the event, whether you want to go out to eat, you want to go see something, a museum, you want to go do whatever, and we're an old married couple with a 10-year-old. So it's not like, it's not like we're going down there partying down or anything like that.
But it'll be fun to be able to get out and see the sights. And it sounds like there's much more to do in Pigeon Forge than
hey, and
where the event's held.
I want to hit a few of these comments here before we get Anthony Young. Hey, what is going on? Thanks for that, Anthony. Bronco 78. Good evening. Tim said, I am getting excited too. Is just reminding my wife that 10 days away. Yeah, I mean, 10 days away, it's hard to believe. So we have that one more weekend to get your rigs ready. And I'm going, if there's like any competition there, I'm going for the Bone Stock Award. So like we've only done one modification, and that's the rear folding table. And that's not like, that's an add-on. We haven't done anything 2 hours. And I think, I'm working right now on the 22 eruption green roof rail system. I mean, that's really the big deal for us. And so it doesn't look like the ones from Ford. And I understand that they're going to be super expensive. So we're definitely looking at some aftermarket stuff. Let's hit a couple. John Hines, definitely post on Instagram page. Yeah, John, I will. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to meeting everyone that we get to chat with here online. I think it's going to be very cool. It's going to be a good deal.
I'm excited about that.
And there's two sides to that. There's the one at the event. We'll see each other. We'll meet each other, and that's great. And hopefully there's going to be something kind of like a little after hours there. But when you get to go out and just hang out for hours on end and just talk to people and really get to know what they like or what they'd like to see from your channel or what their hobbies are, it's just a different atmosphere. You know how it is. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. Dr. Detroit, pigeon sounds fun.
The trees have grown back.
I don't know. What's Dr. Detroit? What's up with that? With the
from the fires, maybe?
Well,
because there were some fires.
So there was, okay. Let me tell you this, the drive between, and I don't know what road it's on. So if you're a local, roast me, but the drive between Townsend and Pigeon Forge, like I said, was roughly 35 minutes. It's a really cool drive. You go up and over and around, you go over basically the mountains there. And there's a few really cool places I think you'll like. Right on there's a creek that runs through there. Mm-hmm. Places you can go panning for gold.
Oh, neat.
So there's your gold necklace. Gavin will
love that.
There's your gold necklace.
Oh, yay.
So, you got to find it first.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, that's your anniversary present for next year. So, I hope I find her anniversary present.
Oh, my goodness.
So, because Gavin, he's 10 years old. He wants to do other stuff. Pigeon Forge is the right answer for us. But I do want to know more about the trees there. I guess there was a fire. Where were we when there was I guess a lot of rain and part of a mountain.
There was a mudslide.
There was a mudslide. Was that Roanoke? I think Gavin and I told you.
No.
Oh, no,
I thought it was Tennessee.
No. So there was two things. Okay. So Townsend, there was areas, a part of mountains that had washed down, but actually in Roanoke, Virginia, if TJ is watching, you might be able to, he lives in Roanoke. He might be able to comment. There was used to be a laundromat or whatever it was. Gavin said, Dad, look. And you could see rafters pointing up in the air. And what had happened was some of the mountain behind that building came down and just crushed the back of the building, poked it. It was nuts. It was crazy.
So John says it's Wares Valley Road is the road that you were mentioning before.
Okay. All right.
And the fires are completely out now. Thank goodness.
All right. Good deal. Yeah. Well, and I was watching, of course, I watched it on a replay, which, by the way, we need to say something, Dave and Kelly with All Terrain Nation. But I was watching a replay there, and I think they had a map up where they were showing those fires. And because everything going on with us, I didn't even stay tuned to that. I didn't know. But anyway, let's see what we've got here.
So several people that are going. Bronco 78.
Yeah. So Dr. Detroit, I think you're right. When we drove that, what we saw a lot of was mudslides. And then of course the closer you get to Pigeon Forge, there's all these little uh what do you call them? Go or not go well, there's some go-kart tracks, but there was which is where I terrified Gavin last year. Maybe he'll loosen
Really?
up. Oh yeah, he'll tell you the
No,
story.
he really wanted to ride the things like the toboggan sleds that go through the trees and everything. I don't
Yeah.
know what you call them, but they're like self-propelled roller coasters.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what the
so it's
proper name is, but
yeah, it's like
I really want to do that too.
gravity goes down, but
It
there's
just
all
sounds
those
like a
little
lot of
roller
fun.
coasters is what I'm trying to say right there about Pigeon Forge. And there was some tree cleared areas damaged. I didn't know what it was from. Maybe it was from fire, so who knows. I guess I need to read up on where I'm going, right?
And Dr. Detroit is asking what your thoughts are on the Bronco Raptor because he's deciding if he's going to accept his or not.
Okay, so all right, here's my thoughts. First of all, I've been watching a lot of the videos. I've been out of, how I like to geek out on some of the videos and talk about stuff. Like tonight on the snorkels, I'm sorry in advance. I'm sorry in advance, but I want to talk about some engineering stuff. But on the Bronco Raptor in general, I like it. I like the concept. I'm not smart as the people in marketing it for it. If I were doing things, I would have named it something different. Like I like the Warthog thing, and I think maybe the reason why I like the Warthog name is because that was the rumor early on. But I also knew typically you don't advertise or you're not letting it be known the name of a vehicle. That's why the camo wraps are on vehicles, and that's why there's operational name like GOAT. The GOAT modes on the Bronco is kind of a cool thing, but GOAT was the operational name, the sort of the undercover name for the original Bronco. Did you know that?
I did not do that.
So, instead of calling it the Bronco, they called it the GOAT. Well, they've kind of brought that back with the GOAT modes, and that's very cool. And I'll say that the people in the intellectual department there at Ford, along with the designers, have done a really good job of, bringing those Easter eggs back, bringing that content back. But let's get back on the Bronco Raptor. I like the overall concept. I think it's cool. I do know that with Ford splitting kind of the Model E stuff and then the ICE stuff, Ford Blue, that they're really building sub brands, right? So the F-150 has how many trims now? And the Expedition has a couple trims, and the Explorer and the Bronco. And even though some people don't like the Bronco Sport, I could care less. I actually like the Bronco Sport.
I still don't understand the whole
it's I
back
don't
and
know.
forth
I
over
don't
that.
know. I don't know.
I don't get it.
But we have a group here. By the way, if you want to join Virginia Broncos on Facebook, join. And it doesn't matter what type of Bronco you have. If it's early, late, if it's a 6th gen, if it's a Bronco Sport, you're welcome to join.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah, we welcome, because for us, I'm just like, I'm at a point in my life where the filter's full. And so I'm starting to say what I believe, but anyway, let's get back to the Bronco Raptor.
So
the Bronco Raptor, let's get back to that before I forget, because I got like shiny squirrel. I'm sorry.
No,
trying to keep me on track.
No.
So the Bronco Raptor it's cool. I like the 3.0. There's been videos out there saying it's the same 3.0s of, an Explorer ST. Well, it's not. It's
How did that happen?
Sorry about that. StreamYard's having another little thing
Glitch.
again. It happens once in a while, and it may not be StreamYard, it may be my computer. So Becky's going to update me to the latest and the greatest Apple product. All right, so keep an eye on that. If you see me mute, just let me know. So it's actually not the same 3.0. The 3.0 that's in the Explorer ST, unless all the data online is wrong, it's an all aluminum engine. I don't know about the oil pump. It may be a crank-driven oil pump. You should know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
But in the 2.7, it is a belt-driven variable capacity pump, and they do that for the parasitic loss to kind of help with drag in the engine to keep it free-flowing as much as possible, right? Are you lost yet?
Of course not. I know it all.
Yeah. So anyway, the Bronco engine is the 2.7 that's kind of punched out, for lack of a better words, bore and stroke, and which one they increased, I don't know, maybe a little of both. So I like the powertrain in it. A V8 would have been great, but we know that's kind of in the past now, I think, really. I don't really know the reasons for the 3.5, and we'll get to the comments in a second. The 3.5, why they didn't go that route. I know physically, should it fit? I think it should physically. But I think there's various reasons out there. So what I'm interested in is the 2.7 in the Bronco Raptor. Is it a belt-driven variable capacity oil pump, or did they go with a crank-driven pump? Did they change a lot of other stuff, or is it similar to this 2.7, just with a little bit more,
Little tweak.
yeah, a little bit more capacity? When I say capacity, I don't want to, like I said, geek out tonight too much, but it's swept volume, CC of cylinder head, stuff like that. Also, the thickness of the head gasket, can change that as well when you're getting down to the exact. So, anyway, the Bronco Raptor in general, the only thing I don't like on it, however, I don't hate it, are the fender flares. I think that if they were painted to match the Bronco, that it would definitely look different. It would look, I don't want to say
Yes,
better.
but I think that would take away from the ruggedness of it because it's meant to be an off-road machine, like superior to what we have now. And I just think you would take away from that if you painted the fenders.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, that's a
I mean,
good,
they're just going to get scratched.
right. Well, thinking ahead, and there again, I want to compliment Ford engineers a little bit later, but thinking ahead on the there's these removable flares, part of the flare that's on the rear fender. So basically, it's part of the door in front of the back tire. That's actually replaceable because they know it's going to get pounded with
Right,
rocks.
right. Well, true. But I guess if you're going to go rock crawling and you know that the likelihood of everything getting scratched up is probable, you're going to most likely remove them anyways.
Yeah. So
So,
the
I
interior
don't
of the
know.
Bronco Raptor is awesome. There's a couple that you can go with the marine grade, which is not much different than what we have. But then you can go with that suede. But the seats are different. They're made to hold you in place. I like the cyber orange seat belts. It's that small little thing. Um, I did talk to my dealer. We were getting into, the ordering process of it just to see what it would look like if you actually ordered one and built it out. And I do know that the carbon fiber package was almost $3,000. I think it was either right at 2,000 or right at three. It was like 17, 1,800 or 27, 2,800. I can't remember which one. I just remember
And what is the benefit of that other than the look
looks.
and saying you have it?
And there again, I may be wrong. Somebody could correct me, but I think looks
Because
really,
it doesn't add any durability to the product.
Yeah.
It looks different.
Yeah. And by the way, before we go any further, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. That'll help YouTube spread the word and let other people right now online knowing, hey, we're talking Bronco stuff and Super Celebration East. So the Bronco Raptor, this is probably the longest answer to a simple question. Sorry, Dr. Detroit, but I like
long-winded version.
I like it overall. And one day will there be one in the stable here? Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows?
That's her decision. So
Well, it's always a cost benefit to me. But
Yeah.
That's the accountant in me too. But I mean,
It's a Bronco.
Is it that much better? Is it going to give you that much more for what you're doing, other than to say, "I have a Raptor"?
Yeah, and let's hit some of the comments and we'll get back on our
Okay.
content for tonight. Dr. Detroit also said, didn't the fires burn down some of the trees? Yeah, there was something that happened there. I do know that. Gavin and I were noticing it looked like, I thought it was some type of, maybe a tropical storm went inshore, which wouldn't be a wind event, it'd be a rain event. It just kind of like washed everything out, but could have been fires as well. So I'm gonna check into that anyway. Let's see. Anyone plan on participating? Oh wow, what do we have here? Oh, got a couple super chats here. I definitely let me see.
Thank
See who
you.
did that. Yeah, let's back up here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing.
Yeah, Anthony said we need you on here more. Told you. Help keep me straight.
me?
Anyway. Yeah, you look the comment right there. So, John Hines definitely opposed. So we talked about that. Let's see here, Wayne. Since 2020 orders are closed, when do you think the next order banks will open? Maybe for 23. That's an open-ended question. Of course, if I had to guess, it's going to depend on the productivity or the commodities, right, and how well they can get all the orders that they've got now. If I had to guess, I would say August is kind of like a timeline for me. But yeah, we'll definitely keep up on that. If I find anything out, I'll definitely mention it. Bronco 78, got my 78 all cleaned out the weekend. Was driving around most of the day Saturday, ready to go supercell.
Now, Bronco 78, I'm going to respond to your question, asking if anybody is planning on participating in any of the rides. I would really like to, because I have not done that yet. Like I said, I'm a newbie, and I would love to do that. And I'd also really enjoy one of the Bronco off-roadios.
And there again, forgive me, especially if you're part of the Bronco Super Celebration East event and you're watching this. I'm sorry if I don't know the name of it, but there is a drive that goes up in the mountains, kind of behind the area where that abandoned town is.
Oh, that would be really cool.
And I'm drawing it. I remember I read something this week because I said I want to remember so I can name that town. But there was
we've been watching.
It was like a resort.
I can't remember what it's called.
It was sort of like a resort type town that's kind of abandoned. Well, it's not kind of. It is abandoned. And you can drive through there. I think that is one of the events.
I would love to do that.
We're going to take Becky's. We're going to take Becky's.
The green machine.
The green machine. We're going to take the green machine through there. Her 22. All right. So good deal, Bronco 78. I'm glad you got that. The Pigeon Forward sounds fun. We talked about that.
Oh, and Blueford says that they used to have that Hysteria shirt too. His Def Leppard gear. That
I am a huge Def Leppard fan.
I cannot tell you how many times we've seen them in concert, and they're great every time.
And I have probably one of the only 10-year-olds that jams out to.
Gavin's an old soul.
He's an old soul, man. He jams out to Def Leppard and about it.
And many other old soul songs for his age.
Let's see. But yeah, we are going to do some of that. Where's Valley Road, John Hines? You'd mentioned that earlier. Thanks, John, for that. I appreciate that. I just know it was point A to point B. I remember where the Starbucks were. And I mentioned to you, we're going to get you on a coffee fix. There's a coffee shop there right by the event. We've got to get you hooked up.
I'm so sorry, but after all these years, I've tried. I cannot do coffee. I love the smell of it. I can eat it in like ice cream or something super sweet like that, but I cannot drink it. I'm not a fan.
And John Hines also, sorry, I'm just catching up on these comments. The fire is completely out now. I think someone said they were, but I'm going to look into that and that was another thing is I remember thinking, wow, I'm glad we're staying over at Pigeon Forge, right? But yeah, it should hopefully it be in.
So Bronco 78 mentions, yes, the Ghost Town ride. What you were referring to earlier.
Ghost Town ride. Yeah. That's it.
I think that sounds awesome.
Hey, I reread Dr. Detroit's question too. Trying to decide if you're going to accept yours or not. If the numbers work for you, why not? It's a first year of it. It's going to be cool. I was actually surprised that the VIN number 1 only sold for $350,000. If you and I were there, we would own a Bronco right now. Because I'd have paid $350 for it.
We'll talk.
We'll talk. Let's see here. There was a lot more mudslides these days because of fires that happened a few years back. Bronco 78, great point. So as the trees burn, obviously the roots is what helps hold the place together, and it washes out. Great point. Let's see. A crap ton of engine and drive change stuff. I'm interested in your thoughts. Okay, so back to Dr. Detroit's other question on the drivetrain thoughts. So it's the was it the 10R60 transmission? They've done definitely some different things. We have a dog just like terrorizing us right now. They've done some different stuff with the rear diff. Was it a Dana 50? Was it a Dana 50?
What's that?
And the Bronco Raptor. I can't remember. I know.
I'm not sure.
But I know that the 3.0. I'm excited to see that engine. So I'm going to edit the video that when we were all predicting which engine would be in the Bronco Raptor. And I remember saying, like a lot of people, 3.0. It was like 1,000 of us suggesting it. But I even went into detail in the video and I said, well, if it were me, I would start with a 2.7 to CGI block and I would build it from there. Because personally, and this is going to be, this is my opinion. I get it. This is not the way it's thought of in general now, but I like the idea that a cast iron block, even compacted graphite iron, but it's still cast iron, heats up slower but also it's easier to maintain operational temperature. So I don't have fluctuations in temperatures in the engine. Aluminum heats up quick, cools down quick. That's great. Perfect cylinder heads, integrated exhaust manifold, and all that stuff is cool. I like the engines to maintain a temperature. And I think personally, I believe that with the low speed, high torque situations of rock crawling and things like that, that the engine, there's a lot of heat being built around that engine. And I think you can manage it better with the 2.7. I have no idea why the engineers didn't go with the all aluminum. But if I were building it, which I said in that video, I would start at a 2.7 CGI block and just increase the sweat volume of it. Not to just say it's a 3-liter, but make it different than the 2.7. I mean, the 2.7 is bottled up, ready for more, to give us more horsepower. I really believe that. It's just a phenomenal engine. So, I personally want to thank the Ford engineers from there in a little bit. Hey, we have a couple super chats here. Who is this here?
Yeah. So Andrea,
thank you very much.
so much for that. We appreciate that.
I like the great
Dave
shirt
with All Terrain Nation. Thanks, Dave.
Hey, Dave, All Terrain Nation, thank you very much. And Gavin told me, said, "Hey, Dad, you ought to watch All Terrain." And I went back and later and I watched. Dave gave my brother a moment of silence, and that was
very nice,
absolutely awesome. I texted, or I think I messaged Dave and said, "You and Kelly are great people. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Keep it up." And by the way, they're going to have a good show tomorrow night. Their live stream. And what do we do on Monday nights? Isn't it kind of cool? We fire up the TV and
we watch
the great
their live stream.
And instead of watching TV, we're watching All Terrain Nation's live stream.
And Gavin will be back in time for that.
And Gavin's on spring break, so he can stay up late and all that cool stuff. So if you see his comments tomorrow night, he's good to go.
He's camping. So, and I'm surprised he hasn't chimed in on the live stream tonight, but I think they have poor internet service where they are.
So, Dr. Detroit, I hope I answer your questions. I appreciate the compliment too, but I think if the numbers work, the Bronco Raptor is cool. Some people just really hate the fender flares. I get it. I don't know. I think the novelty of it is pretty cool. I'm wondering if something will change in 23. Will they offer painted fender flares for that? And the modifications are going to go crazy with them anyway.
Yeah.
So who knows what people do once they take delivery? But it would be cool if VIN number 1 showed up at Townsend on a trailer, wouldn't it?
That would be pretty neat. So let's see here.
Yeah, let's go back to I don't want to miss your comments, by the way. I'm still getting back in. Let's see. I think I answered Wayne's question there.
All Terrain Nation asked if you heard his Def Leppard lyric in the last video.
I did not.
We missed that.
I missed it. What was that? Tell me more. Let's see. Pigeon Forge is a great place, especially with the family. And I have little man with me, so I always have to keep him entertained. They have that museum there with the old OJ Bronco in it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. What are you talking? Yeah. See, I'm trying to catch up. I just started talking. We're going to talk about the Snorkel technology, and this is where I'm really going to geek out tonight a little bit. I have a video coming up this week, and let's see.
Oh, Dr. Detroit, thanks so much for the super chat.
Yeah. Dr. Detroit, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Hey, the super chats go well. And look, I really appreciate those. They help us with our channel. And if you haven't, please hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate that as a channel. I'm sure Gavin might be watching somewhere from
they have really poor internet reception. That's what I was
just
saying. I was surprised he hasn't chimed in yet.
Yeah. All right. So I'm finally catching up from like 30 minutes ago. Blueford, I saw your comment. You said the hysteria shirt. Becky told me that. First production Raptor just got auctioned off at $350. Bronco 78. Yep, I saw that yesterday. I was actually waiting for it. I was watching a little bit of it. I had a couple hours to watch TV, which I generally don't watch TV. Becky can tell you that. I can't stand it. All right. We saw the no sound thing. I think that's where he picked it up. Atomic Snow Flow. It's back and good. Thank you for that. Tim, overlanding for fun. I appreciate that. We have to have Tim back on. Tim's a great wealth of information. Let's see, Dr. Detroit. So let's see. What do you have over there? Anything? Hey, and by the way, I said thank you, Andrea, for that super chat. I really do appreciate that. That's awesome.
We need to get together with Andrea soon. He lives
Yeah,
local.
like we're right here
Yeah.
in the Hampton Roads area. Let's see.
It's just neat to meet people face to face, I think. Put a face with a name.
Yeah, and one thing about the Bronco Raptor, getting back to that, it's I yeah, I think it's like 8.8 inches wider in the rear and maybe 8.3 or something different in the front. I think it's 8.8 in the rear. So it's a lot wider stance. And
So my question is though, does it increase the inside wideness of the vehicle, like more
no.
cargo room, or is
No.
it just the body?
So from what I understand, there's only two things on that Bronco skin that is exactly the same as ours, and that's the driver's side door and the passenger side door. Because if you think about it, the rear doors are different because they have that flare on them. The rear flares are different. The rear swing gate, I guess the overall skin would be, but they have that exoskeleton on there that holds that big 37-inch tire. So the skin of the door but I've heard reports they've beefed up the structure of the hinges, or did they just add that exoskeleton on it? I don't really know.
So it's basically beefing up the body and the frame. It's not adding any room
It
inside or anything like that.
Yeah, and the front fenders have actually active louvers in them to get rid of heat. The hood's different. And the front grille has the extra amber lights in it because it exceeds a width.
So it's just increasing capability.
The tail lights are different.
Vehicle itself.
The tail lights are different, so that they can be seen. There are certain angles, and because of that bigger tire on the rear, that 37, there's certain angles that they have to meet. So the rear tail lights are different. They've added the extra brake light. So there's 3 lights across the back. The lights on the mirror. There's quite a.
So I know if you're in love with the Bronco, as we are, and you want to have everything, to me, that would just be, it just sounds like the racing Bronco.
Well, I mean, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
You think about rock crawl.
Yeah, with the seats, they hug you more to keep you safer. It just, I don't know.
And also that the steps, which you would really like, unbolt from the rock rails. And the rock rails are body mounted still, but the steps unbolt from that. So when you want to go rock crawling and you wanted all that extra, a pretty good approach.
Right.
The travel suspension in the front and the rear, it's like 13 in the front, 14 in the rear. I mean, it really is a beefed. Yeah. So I keep going back to the Bronco Raptors, and the code orange is one of the coolest colors out there.
No, I think it's awesome if you're going to use it.
Atomic Snowflow. That's a cool name, by the way. Let me know about the Ranger Raptor. The funny thing is, I've kind of been overwhelmed with some other stuff, and I really haven't dived in deep to that. Other than I can tell you, remember I mentioned earlier about the sub brands. So as Ford adds these sub brands to the company, they need more trims to keep it, full, so you don't just have one vehicle. And I think that adding that super performance within that Bronco. In that Ranger, it's a really cool option. It's definitely going to appeal to a lot of different people.
Atomic Snowflow also had a question. I was trying to find it here about if you could only go to one Bronco off-roadio, which one would you choose to go to?
So I've only been to one. I've been to Texas. So right now, Texas is my favorite one because it's the only one I've been to. However, I was looking at Moab. And
I think Moab would be kind of cool.
Yeah, you think Moab would it?
Yeah.
What's the other
I think that
one?
would be neat.
Arizona or Nevada or whatever it is. I think. See where it is.
There's one in New Hampshire too.
Well, New Hampshire's seasonal because of the temperatures there.
Right.
And there's Moab, and it's either Nevada or Arizona.
I thought there was one in Nevada. Okay, Las Vegas, Nevada, Moab.
Yeah.
And then Texas.
Got it.
I'd heard somewhere, and I guess it was incorrect, that there was one in Florida. Maybe it was something different.
So I do want to tell you this, and maybe
that one would be
letting the cat out of the bag. So at Virginia Motorsports Park, road racing course in Southern Virginia, just over Midway, near Martinsville, or near closer to Dinwiddie, I guess, Petersburg. Or no, Dinwiddie. There is a motorsports park there that they have a mini off rodeo for people waiting. And remember, we had worked on doing some of that stuff there.
Yes.
You know, we have this thing we're trying to put together there. And I said, hey, it'd be cool to have some of the first Broncos there. And the guy said, well, I can't tell you, but you're probably not. So now I know why. It's pretty cool. Hey, I am getting to these comments, so bear with me. If you've commented and I haven't said anything, Dale said, with the high price of gas, can you lock the fuel door? No, not that I know of. You just, push in, push out. But I don't know. That's a good question, but I do not know. Let's see here. Checking. 350. Generation X is cool. Yeah, Christopher Tackett said, Generation X is a cool generation. I hear you. Check. Kyle, let's see. Checking in late. Be sure to let me know what I missed. Supercell. All right, Kyle. Well, hopefully you can. Hopefully you can make it next there. Anthony Young's at 40. What's that? Did I miss that there? It's going to. Yep. Anthony Young was saying 2.7. I think somebody is going from there. Nice early for fun. There's another comment going here, and I'm actually not involved in that, am I?
I can't see Anthony's comments. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can't see it over there?
No, it's not on mine. What is that?
Because he's on Facebook.
Oh,
see right there?
Oh, he's watching through Facebook. I got you. Okay.
Hey, Anthony, if you're still there,
cool.
let me know, because you're on Facebook right now. Becky's looking on the YouTube page.
I couldn't see the comment. I was trying to figure that out.
Hey, so who wants? Dr. Detroit, I saw that. You said great. Thank you. I appreciate that. And anything else I can add to that? I'm going to be doing a Bronco Raptor video where I kind of break down all the stuff there. Becky gets like tired of hearing me say, hey, guess what? Like the snorkel stuff. That ought to be cool.
Like, does it affect me? Can I drive it?
Can I drive it? You like the Bronco.
I know I do. I really
tell
like
everyone
it.
For the record. Now, this is groundbreaking, like, can't believe it's happening. What is in the garage and what is outside tonight? Go ahead. Just admit it, sweetheart. Admit it.
Did a little swap. So the green Bronco is in the garage where the Rover normally sits, and the Rover's in the driveway. But that's because the green Bronco just got washed, and the Rover is a little dirty. So
and the pollen's off the hook around
here.
So.
The yellow pollen with that beautiful green paint. Oof. So, we did a little swap.
And Mobile Motto, if you're still here watching, thank you for that. I saw that comment when I watched Dave's stuff last week. I appreciate you thinking about us. That's pretty awesome. And I'm trying to figure out, sorry, I got caught doom scrolling shorts. Yeah. Look.
Duane knows all about that.
Reels and shorts. Like
he goes down the rabbit hole. Frequently.
Yeah, but we're definitely live here tonight, my Ranger. Yeah, All Terrain Nation has that Ranger video there. We need to check that out. Dave is good. Yeah, I saw that. This is what I told you about right here. Sorry, I'm pointing at the screen here.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Dave, I saw your what you posted, that thing on there. It's like, wow. At Supercell, I think we were talking about this today. We need to light a campfire, and we need to compile the stories of stuff we've heard online.
Yeah, no, I think it would be very entertaining.
Yeah, well, it would be entertaining.
Like the YouTube outtakes.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
So North Shore Bronco said, I'm anxious to see if they're going to sell the Snorkel as an accessory. Good point. And I'm getting ready to get to that. As soon as we go through these comments, I appreciate all the comments, by the way. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button. It really helps us grow on YouTube. I did take sort of a backseat over the last, really 2 weeks.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, and you wouldn't believe how that affects you. Of course, family comes first. So YouTube is whatever it is, it's here. But we have a lot of content pin up that we want to get out. And the snorkel stuff, the video I'm going to do on that is probably going to be, I don't know. If you want to know about snorkel stuff, go down under. The guys in Australia are like snorkel experts. Watching some of those guys from down there
Yeah.
on YouTube,
That's like standard equipment
like
there.
in South Africa and places like that, man, they are like the snorkel techs. Like they've got it figured out. It will be interesting if they're going to do that, and how many people will actually cut through their fender to do it and drill through the A pillar. So, yeah,
Oh, so
you see,
Bronco.
look what Tim said here to North Shore Bronco.
It's fine.
Steph, you know what I said about that "it's fine" thing, man. You've got
So funny.
you've got like a whole brand there. Let's see, 4 sales a snorkel for 3 times. What is? Yeah, I hear you. Mobile motto.
So Bronco 78 mentioned that their Bronco rodeo events popping up everywhere, and then they had one recently north of Georgia or in North
Yeah.
Georgia, which is pretty cool.
Tim said Bronco Raptor's 8 inches wider, more junk in the trunk. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it definitely has more junk in the trunk. John Hines, same Bronco body in theory, gains width from the fender flares. Yeah, the different suspension components, differential, some stuff, offsets.
I mean, I guess
things
if you're
that.
really into jumping stuff frequently, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Dr. Detroit, actually, you see how late I am on this. You're saying the width is kind of what you don't like. The regular Bronco, the regular Bronco, yeah, it was wide enough, no changes. Sorry, I'm trying to. What are you laughing at?
Mobile Moto just said snorkels are the members only jacket of the overland uniform. Sorry,
I hear you.
That
Yeah.
cracks me up.
Good thing I gave mine away a couple years ago, right? Sorry,
Hey,
make fun of myself.
Hey, you'll be talking snorkels. Gavin does have a snorkel.
Like a literal.
Yeah. You'll see him strutting across.
No, that's what we'll do. We'll do a video with a thumbnail. I added a snorkel to my Bronco and have Gavin hanging out the window.
Well, and so you're talking about it being so popular in Australia. Here's a little funny story, a little outtake. So before things went off the rails with normalcy over the past 2 years, we had joined a pool locally, and it was a big golf club, fancy golf club. And we were there on, I don't know, one Saturday, and Gavin was snorkeling around the pool, and they had all these golfers from Australia there. And 2 of these young Australians, they were like, "Hey, mate, are you okay, mate?" Because Gavin's just hovering the pool with his snorkel.
Yeah, they were asking. Yeah, they was like, "Hey, yeah,
are you okay?"
Because he was just floating there. Yeah, they were starting to worry. It's like, dude, are you going to move? Or?
Yeah. So, anyways, I know it's totally off topic. Sorry, I tend to see squirrels, but talking about snorkels and how that's so prevalent in Australia and South Africa just kind of brought back a memory.
Mobile motto. I'll let Becky sit. Look at this one here.
Oh yeah, you did your taxes. Got your down payment.
Yeah, ready to go.
Well, at least you got money back. That's awesome.
So the build is pushed back from 5.9 to 5.16. If that's the only delay, that's not that bad, unless it's the 10th delay, right? And I get that.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, we were blessed because we got a build date, and our Bronco was built.
Yeah, it was on time.
On time.
The only, and I wouldn't even call it a delay, but the longest time frame, other than the wait, was waiting for it to be brought here. It was sitting for so long after it had been built, and we were just waiting and waiting and waiting. So that was the biggest drag for us.
Yeah, Andrea was mentioned. The New Hampshire was the 4th Bronco off rodeo. I think Becky and I are going to try to maybe do something this summer. I think you would really like it because early on, some people didn't like the idea. They didn't know if it was worth. And I'll tell you, as someone, and I got, they were joking me because what did they call me? The lag and drag.
Yeah,
because I was the last Bronco, and he's like, "I know why you're so far back because when we hit a straightaway, I know what you're doing. You don't do it." And I was like, "Sorry." I actually posted another video this week where Alexa and I were doing the end of the course, the high speed stuff, and her hair's blowing all around. It was actually fun.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're. By the way, the I'd say trail guides, the instructors there at the Bronco Off Rodeo were great. Really helping explain the buttons on the Bronco. Right. The modes and how you can customize, a lot of people, you have certain goat modes, but you can also semi customize those modes by changing the hero selection. Because You know, the one thing we don't understand
What's that?
when you switch to sand mode, speaking of the goat modes, when you switch to sand mode and then you switch back to normal, I think Johnny and I talked about this, is that you have to manually disengage the rear locker. Because when you go to sand
Yeah.
mode, it actually engages the rear locker automatically, but you have to manually take it
Yeah,
out.
that's a good
I
question.
don't know why it doesn't happen.
You would think that as soon as you turned it back to normal, it would just automatically take that off, but
Yeah, that was pretty
it's
cool.
not.
So we'll see. Sent me invite Southeast. Yeah, mobile motto. I hear you. You see,
Well, I have a question.
talking
and
about the invite, by the way, to the mini
Oh,
off
yeah.
rodeo. Yeah.
Has anyone that currently has their Bronco experienced any delays or glitches with their intelligent key? And it's not a big deal, but when you walk up to the locked vehicle, it's supposed to send your key and automatically unlock as soon as you pull the door handle. And I've noticed on mine recently that it's glitchy. And it's only the driver's door. And you can walk around to the passenger side and the back, and those open like they're supposed to.
Right.
So I was just curious if anybody else has heard of that happening to them or experienced that themselves. And it's not every time, but it seems to be more frequent than it used to be.
Right. Well,
So I
maybe.
was just curious if
Yeah,
it was
because
a
you've been
chip
talking
glitch.
about that for a couple.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I hate to even bring that up and sound like a complainer, but I was just curious. You get used to these little creature comforts, and then all of a sudden they glitch, and you
Hey,
just
Dr. Detroit, I did see
wonder.
your question about how's the snorkel work with the turbos. I'm getting ready to, like I said, total go turbo snorkel geek out mode here in just a second, but I'm trying to go. So I want to answer that question. I did see it though. Flo said, is the one pedal available on the 2.3 and the 2.7 engines? I think it is, but I think isn't it a automatic thing versus manual? That's a good question, Flo. I don't know that. One pedal, I think it's on auto and not manual. Somebody correct me on that. I'm sure you will. Let's see.
Sorry, I thought that.
No, I mean this. Look, each and every one of you watching this right now, I really appreciate it. But once in a while, we get these comments that come in, and
Ooh.
we're like, "Ouch!" And like Dave got this week. I was like, "Holy smokes!" Oh, let's see. Snorkels are the members. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. I'm just struggling catching up. Thanks for all the comments, by the way. I
Yeah,
do appreciate it. I
it's
like having
awesome.
that issue.
The interactions.
Yeah, I like having the problem. It's not a problem, but the thing of trying to keep up with all the different comments coming in. That's really do appreciate that. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. Definitely appreciate it. Let's see. The airbox has some baffles that trap the water. Like, yeah, mobile motto. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Actually, doing a video on that, and it's going to be cool.
Yeah. Oh, overlanding for fun. Yeah. So you've had the same problem too?
Okay.
Yeah, and I do have to unlock it with the key fob. But my thing is, as a lady with a lot of stuff in her purse, sometimes my key gets lost. So it's so nice not to have to dig out the key. I've gotten so spoiled with my cars that I keep it in my pocket, or well, if it's in my pocket, it's a lot easier. But buried in the purse, and I know as long as I have my purse that I can get in.
Gotcha. John Hines said 2.7 only. He believes on the one pedal. That's a great question, Flo, and thanks, John, for that. I'm going to research that. I don't know. That's actually one of the great questions. Christopher Taggart said he got his been shipped email and Saturday morning. So that's awesome. So depending on if it's it's by rail or convoy, that's who knows there. So we are getting ready to go ahead and go full geek out mode here. Are you ready for this? So on the snorkels, right? If you look at the snorkels, you look at the different technology out there, you look at there's different types, right? So you have the Ram Air is also a type of snorkel inlet. It's also the direction. So Ram Air meaning as you're driving down the road, the opening of the snorkel is facing the direction you're headed. So you're ramming literally the air in. So if you've noticed some of the snorkels, some of the aftermarket ones, Airflow and other ones that are out there, they actually have a big opening, right? And then it chokes down a little bit below it. And you wonder, why is that? All right. So you try to create this, let's see, cyclonic effect. So as the air goes in, there's this cyclonic effect of the air slinging around, sort of like a dust collector at a wood shop. So the larger particles of particulates, as well as moisture, water, theoretically get slung to the sides. And if you look at those snorkels, they have slots in them. And that's where the dirt, particulates, moisture, everything comes out as you're driving down the road. Then the cleaner air then goes into the body of the snorkel. And whether it's an induction or there's two different types. There's inductions. Um, uh, they basically, if you notice the larger area where it bolts to the fender, is sort of a reservoir. Think of it, it's actually called a plenum. But if you were looking at a fluid or a liquid, think of a reservoir, right? A stream runs into a reservoir. That's where it holds the volume of water until you need it. In a case of a plenum, you have high pressure leaving that inlet of that snorkel. You have a lot of vortices, right? Little air spinning around, which restricts airflow. So typically when you see a snorkel, you'll see the body get a little bit larger into the plenum. And the reason why this happens is this is where the velocity drops down and it tries to stop these vortices from happening. So you have a volume of air. And then whatever size hole you have that goes through the fender into the air box could be 3 inch, 3.5, 4, whatever. It depends on the engine requirements. Then that stable air goes into the air filter. And then you can have cyclonic filters or flat ones. The Bronco comes standard with a flat air filter. It could be the round ones. But basically, those filters nominally collect it down to about 30 microns. So if you can sling out the big particles and then you collect that small stuff, right? In theory, it's great. So the Bronco does have, if you look at a factory Bronco in the air box, you have the air inlet that is below the hood on the passenger side. There's a trap door. So if you ever get a big gulp of water into that, it theoretically will go through that trap door and down into the engine bay, and then the rest of it will go into the air box. Now the air box has lower areas. The filter sits up higher, so you will collect some water there. Stay tuned on our video coming up this week about a weep hole or not. So it's actually pretty cool. So here's the thing. There's a vortex type inlet, which is, if you look at some Army vehicles, military vehicles, you'll see this big hood. It looks like a furnace flue cap. There's an actual fan blade in that helps to sling the moisture and the contaminants out and let the cleaner, not clean, but cleaner air go into the snorkel. Ford has done something a little bit different. I can't wait to see because I don't know, but they've used the wedge tail design, but they've added the front and rear inlet. So you can have the opening the grill on the front. They call it mesh, but it's not a mesh, it's a grill. You can have that on the front. That'll give you the ram air effect. Or in heavy snow, heavy rain, or heavy dust, you can put it on the rear. Because remember, a snorkel really, this is why it's popular in Australia, South Africa, is because it helps with cleaner air. The larger air particles, right,
Gotcha.
harder to go up to the roof of the cab of the vehicle. Now, part of this, if you're going to really be using your Bronco with a snorkel properly and you're in some dusty conditions, if you're in a convoy situation where you're following someone, you definitely want to, lay back a little bit, allow some of that big stuff to drop. But a snorkel is really good for that. And but there's also the water fording ability. So as you've noticed from vehicles, when they go through the water, there's actually pushing the water across the front. Well, if you think about where the hood is, if you have water going over the hood, then theoretically it's going into the factory inlet air in the air box. So it's not necessarily waterproof like a submarine, but it just slows down the water infiltration into the air box because these things are theoretically sealed. But if there's a weep hole in the air box, and if you're sitting in water, it'll eventually get water. But as you're traveling through, it doesn't have time. So that's the theory behind it. What I'm interested to see is how is Ford getting rid of the heavy particulates and the heavy rain? There has to be weep holes and some technology in there that is not readily available. So that's why I say, man, they have some cool stuff going on. So there again, sorry, I wanted to get through that. But yeah, in some of the snorkels you'll see where they'll turn the inlet around on some of the cyclonic, the big round heads on them. They'll turn those around in heavy rain. But I watched the video where somebody had it facing and said he drove 30 miles in heavy rain. Now, what's heavy rain? It's relative, right? But they didn't have any water in their engine. So the cyclonic effect of it slinging the water and the heavy particulates out was pretty cool. So this technology of the snorkel is really awesome. I think what's the Everglades? It's like 36.2 or 36.4 inches of water fording.
Wow.
Also, the alternator's lower on a 2.7 than on a 2.3. And a 2.7, I believe it's on the passenger side, pretty low. On the 2.7, it's on the driver's side, up a little higher. Why the 2.3 in the Everglades Bronco? We have a video coming out on that. I have a theory. No one probably really knows but Ford, but that's it. So what's some of the comments coming in? Sorry, I told you I would totally just geek out on that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Flo said it has a snorkel on his H3. Yep. John Hines, clean core air only. Yeah. Snorkels though, I mean, if you look at the idea of water fording at Bronco Off Rodeo, we learned something. Is that when you're going through water, as you create that wave, you're pushing that water away from the Bronco, you're keeping it away from the doors, right? So that's why you want to go through at a certain speed. Well, if the water's deep enough, it's going to roll up over the hood. And so that's where a snorkel would really help you.
Right.
Because you're not allowing that space between the top where the hood rolls down in the front and the top of the grill. Because the air actually, you collect a lot of the air from the driver's side and it runs across a formed channel across there and then into the airbox on the passenger side. So as you're driving down the road, you're getting cooler air into the engine already. Part of a snorkel allows cooler air. That helps with horsepower and efficiency. But that's really when you're in rock crawl, slow mode, right? You're idling, you have a lot of engine bay heat. So it would really help there. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting when you start to dive deep down into the snorkel technology. It's going to be interesting. I hope they have one at Supercell East.
I know.
It's going to be really cool. What do you got here, Becky?
So Christopher says he got it's been shipped email Saturday morning.
Yeah,
congratulations.
I just read that. Yeah, congratulations.
Overlanding for Fun, thanks for your response for the key fob. And then there was some discussion about the 2.7 being for one pedal. I guess there was a question whether or not you could get it with a 2.3.
Yeah. Mobile Motto was comment on the Venturi effect. Yeah. So, my theory is if I was and I'm not really a snorkel fan, I will tell you that these guys in Australia, man, they live by them, right? And I guess because of the environment, they have to,
right?
Because of all the
it's
dirt.
So different.
But if I were doing it, wherever you have, and by the way, the decibel count increase greatly where you have bends in the snorkel. So if you think about the Bronco snorkel as it comes down the A pillar, it kind of hops over the hops probably a bad word. It goes over, transitions over the mirror, where you have two slight bends. They're not 45s, but something close to that. So knowing what I know about airflow, I like turning vanes. I would do some weird stuff like that, and I'm sure it's been tried. Trust me, these people live by this. This is all they do. But I would install turning vanes that were designed to turn the air, because what happens is you have vortices that, if you have a 90-degree right-hand corner, right, and you have enough air going by, you have a vortice in that corner, that short angle, and that where you have air spinning around, air can't pass through. And so then you also increase noise. It's going to be interesting to see what the noise level is. I'm surprised you haven't kicked me and told me to stop talking yet.
Well, you had a nice compliment too. Forget who said it, but that they said that you were good at explaining things.
Well, I appreciate
Dr.
that.
Detroit.
Yeah, well, thank you.
He says Duane is really good at explaining how things work, like a Bill Nye, the science guy, for the newer auto enthusiasts. Thank you. That was a very nice compliment.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. But you think about the technology, I always think about, well, there's wherever you have an action, you have a reaction, right? So why the 2.3 in the Bronco Everglades?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of the extra advertised water fording of 36.24 inches, whatever it is?
I don't know.
Is it so the alternator height would change there, right? Passenger side on the 2.3, driver side lower on the 2.7, or is it a cost component? Um, is it a CFM requirement for that snorkel? 2.7 maybe
Could
made
be.
too much noise, couldn't get enough air. You know, I really don't know. Um,
Now, RV Dog had a question or a comment. Seen videos of folks putting oil catch cans on their Broncos. Would you recommend this for the 2.3?
So I'm always cautious about recommending something on your Bronco when it's under warranty, right? Because then who knows, something happens and and all that. So I'm not going to. That's why you see my videos. I never recommend anything. However, on a 2.3, because it's direct injection only, there is the issue, possibly like longer term, of blow by catching on the intake valves, right? Because you don't have the luxury of the injector in the intake port allowing like my 91 Mustang is port injection, so the injectors actually shoot the atomized fuel into in the intake. That helps to keep the intake valves cooler and wash down a little bit. Now the 2.3 is direct injection only, which means the fuel only goes into the cylinder. And a 2.7 is dual injection, so they've added that shot of vapor cooler, right? Vapor, because it's cooler than the air going in, even though it's been through the subcooler or the intercooler. Sorry, I call it subcooling, but it's the intercooler. I would say if you're going to put it on any Bronco, that they sell a lot of them for the 2.3s. I think the Shelby Mustang has a catch can on it, and that's supercharged. Remember, sort of the same process, except supercharging is manually driven off the crank. Turbo is done from using the exhaust energy, the pressure going across the turbine to spin the compressor. So I would say, if you look at the data, if you look at the aftermarket companies, they sell a lot of them. So the 2.3 would probably benefit more long term, but it's under warranty, so I don't want to tell you to do it. I can just tell you that if I had a 2.3, yes, I would. A 2.7, I'm even going to play around with it on ours. It's going to be pretty cool.
So Gavin chimed in. He says, "Hi, Mom and Dad." Hi, Gavin.
Oh, Gavin's here.
Hey, Cooper. Hey, Mike, and hey, Lisa. Hope y'all are having fun camping.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, they're like, I miss you, Gavin. What's up, man?
And then Dr. Detroit commented, "It might just be me, but I am not going through 30 inches of water with my $80,000 ride." But that's just me. And I agree.
Dr. Detroit, you and I are like on the same.
I'm not doing that. There's no need for a snorkel for this girl.
No, and I'll tell you, there was a video today that the guy, I forget his name. I'd like to compliment him. He's like I said, cool videos, but he does a lot of these logos for the Broncos. Letter cut out. His alternator quit charging, but he went through some pretty heavy mud, and he did a video where he rinsed the alternator out. Some of you may have seen that, and I don't know. I haven't verified it. I just watched the video today, and I thought, wow, maybe an alternator repositioning.
I don't know.
But that's not a problem for me, because if I go through mud that deep, it's because I made a wrong turn, and I'm not in a good place.
We saw a picture. What was it, today or yesterday, that you showed me of that one Bronco that was just covered in mud, just covered, and they did not have marine grade vinyl. Yeah, and I'm sure that was fun to clean up.
Oh, it was. I think it was cloth, wasn't it? Like,
that's what you.
What did they said? Some people get triggered by their videos. Oh. I'm like, no, I'm not making the payments. You're making the payments. Like, Mobile Motto said, or Royal filter mist is industrial centrifugal air cleaner.
Wow, yeah, that's a little pricey.
Yeah, I've had some experience with torts where you're taking dust collection, and dropping it out of the air, and you do it by that cyclonic effect. It's actually pretty cool. There was something else I was going to talk to you about. Did I cover that on there? Oh yeah. By the way, did you know that the height and the width and the height of the inlet of the snorkel helps with the air noise? Forget the actual flow of air, but it actually, you can have the same overall dimensions in a square area will make more noise than a slightly configured, I think it's 1 to 1.6 ratio. So basically, snorkels typically aren't square or perfectly round. There's typically a difference in that, and it's a weird little engineering thing.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Let's see. Blend date. Who's this? Timothy Wims. Hello, everyone. My blend date is Thursday, hoping for no longer than a month later. Down to Atlanta. Yeah. Congratulations, Timothy. That's awesome. I hope you get it on time. I hope there's no delays in there, but it is what it is. Let's see. I turned my inlet around in heavy rain. Flooding water. Very good. Flo was mentioned about the snorkel, about turning it around. I think the Bronco Raptor's rated around 30 inches of water. Yeah, Bronco 78. Thanks for that. I would think so with that extra height and suspension, and in the 37-inch tires from the factory. This thing's a beast anyway. Let's see. You want to go back to? I know you're getting ready to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run. We had a late dinner tonight, and I have kids that are starting to look for food.
Yeah, guess what I was doing? I was loading. We were loading a grill this afternoon.
We replaced our grill.
If we didn't have a grill, we would starve. I mean, that's just
if you didn't have me, you would starve because I'm the one that cooks everything.
or I would eat out of boxes and wouldn't. Yeah.
Or your past life, eat chicken tenders all night for several days in a row because you didn't want to cook.
Let's see. Definitely need to have. Bronco 78 was talking about that. Is Gavin still here? Hi, Mom and Dad. I love seeing that comment. Hey, Gavin, how are you? Yeah, I miss you. You're supposed to be right here, even though I love you being here.
He's camping. Hey, the boys made their own fishing pole. You have to give them credit. I'm not sure if they caught anything, though, but yesterday they made their own fishing pole to fish.
No, Christopher Taggart said single turbo. Getting back to the turbo thing. So that's right. It's a dual scroll single turbo, but it is single turbo. It's a very good point.
Well, it's been fun hanging out with you guys tonight.
It's very fun. And if you, by the way, please like the video. Yes. That'll help YouTube spread the word.
And I hope to see all of you guys soon.
And we do have all right. Well,
so I'm going to cut out.
I won't hold you any longer.
Finish dinner.
Thanks for your help tonight. Gavin's out camping, hanging out with his friends, and having a good old
living the great life.
Living the great life. Yeah, that's all right, Gavin. We got it under control, my man. Just enjoy.
Right.
Enjoy.
Well, you guys have a great night. Good week.
All right, remember, I'm still live here.
I know.
Y'all don't party down too much down there.
Try to keep everyone.
Let's see. Simple solution: alcohol inject 2.3 after the turbo compressor. Hey, Mobile, I'm sure you and I could come up with like a really cool project vehicle. Yeah, I hear you. You know, alcohol is a wonderful solvent. I mean, that is for certain. See, thanks for the detailed response. RV Dog, you are welcome. Snorkel seemed to be more like a gimmick versus a benefit. Yeah. So, G. Wilker. So, if you look at if you watch some of these videos. Down in Australia, for example, so much dust. These guys overlanding, doing stuff like that. And I can only believe it. I mean, the guys are cool and every channels I watch, but they'll start off with 2 new air filters, install them, and drive. Right. So you have 2 vehicles. One's not following the other. They're side by side. So there's as much, I think a good test, if anything, right? Kind of a control. And when they get stopped with this however many mile or hour trip, that they take the air cleaners off and they take the filters out and beat them on this cloth so you can see the dirt. The vehicles with the Snorkel has a lot less dirt coming out of it than the ones with the Snorkel. So, but I'm looking at where I go wheeling. It's just not an issue for me. So I think, though, if we look at, remember, sub-brand, multiple Rangers, multiple F-Series, multiple Explorers. So you have the multiple trim levels in the Bronco. And so it just, and then you have the 2-door, the 4-door, and then the Sport. But then within that, then they have the different trims. So you have the model and the trims. And I think, I don't know. I think that going forward, if we think about creating these sub-brands of vehicles, at least what Ford seems to be doing, I think that's what I've read, that their ideas, they're doing the best job out there. And before I go any further and forget, because I don't want to forget tonight, I know I see some of the comments and some of the issues and stuff like that. And people were just roasting everyone. But the Ford engineers with the EcoBoost, the ICE program, the internal combustion engine program in general, they are doing so much with these small displacement engines. The EcoBoost engine is really cool, and I'm grateful that they've gone through the time. Say the time. I mean, they're filling a need in the market, right? So it's all about money, but they're filling the need that we have for performance, and they're doing it with the MPG that's required. And the EcoBoost engine, it's hard to squeeze this much reliable power out of one. And I got to tell you, you know, every single time I see like the 3.0, the 2.7, the 2.3, and to see the numbers that they're putting on the board with them, I'm impressed. So that's just my humble opinion, and I'm not trying to be, just total fanboy, but I do like it. Let's see. Yeah, the nano engines are cool. Dr. Detroit, I agree. Twin to the V Royal. Sorry, Mobile Moto. I need to try to pick this up here. Huh. Anyway, so let's see what else going on. All right, so this week we have a couple videos. We have the snorkel video. I can't tell you about the snorkel on the Ford Bronco because I haven't seen any detailed drawings of it. I just see what I see. It looks really cool. It'd be interesting to find out why the 2.3 is it. We are going to cover a little bit more about Super Celebration East, what to expect if you've never been, based on someone that's only been once. Now, this has been an event that's been for the early Broncos, late model Broncos, and now the 6th gen. So, this has been something going on for years. And last year when we went, it was just cool meeting everyone. And I think it's going to be a great. I think I know for a fact we're going to have a great time. I get to get out of the normal stuff for about a week, and that's going to be fun. I look forward to meeting everyone, and please look us up. I have no idea where we'll be parked. I know we have 2 spots. We have a couple. Well, we're going to have 1 tent, so we have a big area. It's going to be fun. So we're going to have a good time and go have a blast. Let's see. Mobile Motto. Let's see what you got here. We're having 2, 3 side conversations in chat. Don't mind us. Yeah, Mobile. I get it, man. That's cool. I appreciate the interactions definitely between everyone, because this is a place where we can come hang out on Sunday night at 8 p.m. and hang out till whenever. We're going to try to add a lot more valuable content, especially after Supercell. This week, we're going to spend this week getting everything ready. And I say getting everything ready. I have a business to leave for about a week. So I have to get a lot of that ready. Getting the Broncos ready is easy. Put gas in them, check all the fluids, and load them up and go. And I am looking to get some last minute accessories. So we'll see if the dealer has them or if they have them close by. Wynn's always really good about getting me components and parts and pieces when I need stuff. So if they have it available, we will definitely get it. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be fun meeting everyone. I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, digitally, we're interacting on different channels and stuff like that. We have this common interest of, the Bronco is it's just such a cool vehicle. And I think, the rollout, as far as the initial rollout, was great. And then, of course, reality struck. And so we are where we are. But anyway, let's see. They rave about those nano engines in Australia. Kevin, yeah. I mean, I'm a fan, and I'll tell you, I hated the V6 engines when they came out. In the early 90s, I didn't want anything to do with a V6. Just didn't want anything. And then Roush Racing started doing, I think it was, what was it called? The Busch Grand National Series, where Mark Martin was running a V6 in that. And they started really making a lot of headway with there. And now the V6 it's great. Now I like V8s too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's, if I had a choice, that's the one I would pick. But yeah, these small displacement engines, they're doing a lot of really cool stuff. And I can't wait to find out more details. I actually have some details on the Bronco engine here. If you guys have a minute, maybe we can specifications, configuration. 3-liter EcoBoost. We know that 60-degree V6, compacted graphite iron block aluminum head. So that's just like the 27. And this is where the bore and the stroke. I mentioned that the 27 is sort of a square engine. The bore and the stroke is identical. The 3.0 is definitely different. I think the bore is 85.4 millimeter and the stroke is 86. Compression ratio. I found this to be interesting. 10.5. If you look at the 3.0, like in the Explorer ST, it's actually 9.3, 9.5, somewhere in there. What is interesting, and I did say it in that video, is that if you lower the compression, then typically you would add more boost, right? So you have a more efficient engine when you're not under boost and you have the ability to boost it. 10.5 to 1 compression is stout. So I can't wait to see what that's going to do. It says fuel delivery, direct injection. It doesn't say dual injection. I don't know if that's just, they just didn't fill in the details or if it's in fact direct. I will make a prediction right here live. If it is direct injection, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes with an oil catch can. Let's see. Aluminum head, Ford steel connecting rod, Ford steel crankshaft, intake manifold, composite shell welded with a runner pack. By the way, the composite intakes, did you know that the composite intakes drops the decibels, drops the sound level of the air? Interesting fact. I will need to find out where I read that. This is still the integrated exhaust manifold in the head, which really cool for getting the engine up to operating temperature pretty fast. So sorry guys, I'm just trying not to go too far off that. Let's see here. Kevin, it did. I forget the company's name, but Kevin said the V6 twin turbo was originally a German diesel or a German designed diesel. Yet the initial company that helped design that, and it was part of the Duratec engine series, and then they expanded from the Duratec into the EcoBoost, and that's where they really picked it up. 10.1 is official. Was let's see, difficult before. Yeah. Mobile said 10.1 was difficult before direct injection and phase cam timing. Yep, you're absolutely right. And it's, what's interesting too is if you're talking about a direct injection engine, you're probably talking about a more pronounced injector pocket in the piston. Because that's, like I said, small, depending on the sweat volume, and I don't know exactly what it is. I mean, it's a 3-liter, but how much of that is, what's the CC of the combustion chamber? I don't really know. But what's interesting is, believe it or not, how far the spark plug sticks into the combustion chamber, right, affects the sweat volume or the total CC. The head gasket thickness affects it, but the injector pocket too. So it's going to be interesting if it's direct injection only in the Bronco Raptor. Will it have a catch can from the factory? I guess we'll find out. And if you had 350 grand and you could have bought the one in Florida, you would know probably today. But yeah. Anyway, so they could probably do 12 point now. They figure out the other issues like heat dissipation. Absolutely. And they're spraying the bottom of the pistons with the oil now to try to draw the heat down. But there's still that issue that, the metal heats up and the aluminum alloys and everything else. And getting the heat away from it is kind of definitely a wild situation. Well, let's bring it back to regular Bronco stuff. So Super Celebration East, I don't know when people are planning on showing up, how many people are going to get there over the next weekend and then Tuesday. We'll be there Wednesday. I don't exactly know what time we'll roll into town. We're actually leaving Eastern Virginia really early, like at 2, 3 a.m.-ish type stuff. So we won't be there for the very beginning, but we will be there on Wednesday. So sometime Wednesday afternoon. I think Gavin and I, we got lost last time. And I say lost, if when you're going down to 81, if you miss the exit to go to Townsend and you go past that exit, you're going to end up going by River Road and some other stuff. And it's 100 rights and lefts. And it's just really like, It's like, okay, so we finally got there. So this time we're not going to miss the exit. I can guarantee that. So Bronco 78 said be there sometime on Wednesday. That's like us. Let's see. Mobile, I did see your last comment, by the way. Modern wideband computers and control systems too. Yep. It's very well on the engine. Let's see. I'll be there on Wednesday by dinner. Good deal. So who's bringing the like who's in control of the campfire? Like, are we going to, because we definitely have to meet up there somewhere at the event. We've got to meet up. Um, yeah. So Tim said all terrain nations taking everyone that wants to go out to dinner. That's awesome. Man, he's nice. Um, Dave, you're going to be there on Tuesday. That's a good deal. Yeah, you're going to beat us there. That's for sure. So, but we're definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a great experience again, and do some stuff over there in Pigeon Forge as well. So, I'm sure Dave knows where I'm going to dinner like half the time there. I figured I'd have a restaurateur as a guest on a live stream, but I haven't reached out to him yet. But we'll definitely be at the local goat there at one point while we're there. It's a cool place. It's a very cool place. And hey, what videos would you guys like to see? I guess I get the mic closer to me so you can hear 'em. What videos would you like to see? Any content out there? Things that you're questioning? We have 3 good videos this week, and one is really pertains if you're interested in the snorkel. And this is based on what I know. So part of this is a video on before I know the facts of this snorkel, and then we'll do a follow up once we actually get to see one and talk to someone that knows all about it. Then we have a Bronco Raptor video coming out, and then we have sort of things you might not know about your Bronco video. Uh, these aren't things that I've found. Trust me, they're out there already, but not everyone knows. One of them I didn't know, and I thought, well, I know general Bronco stuff, right? But geez, I didn't know that. Turns to find out, um, as it turns out, I should say, easier for me to say it. A lot of people knew about this, but I'm always looking at the weird stuff on the Bronco and not the obvious. So, anyways, pretty cool. So we've got some good stuff coming out, and let's see. I have yep. So All Terrain Nation, yeah, definitely has a booth there. It's going to be great. Be able to go out and check out the wrap on the Rapid Red Bronco Badlands. That's going to be very cool. I can't wait to see it. Let's see. No free foods. I think food. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we can find something. There's a restaurant right there by the event. It's sort of a log cabin type place. Need to look the name up again. I hear the food's pretty good, so hey, whatever. We'll go there one night. But I'm definitely looking forward to meeting everyone. Of course, we'll connect again next Sunday night. That'll be it. Right before we go, we have maybe some news there and what we're bringing, what we're not bringing. We kind of planned some other stuff this year. It's not going to be a big year for us. Maybe next year, who knows? It will be a bigger event for us, but I think it's going to be cool. We're going to be there, and we can't wait to meet everyone and see all the modified Broncos, because I was telling Becky today, I said, well, if there's a competition for bone stock, maybe we'd be runners up or something. But because we really haven't done anything to our Bronco. And I have some stuff that we want to do this year to the Area 51. So we'll see if we can do it. So, yep. So Mobile Motto say can't make it this year. Yep, I get it. There was some thought that, well, early on that maybe we go, maybe we don't. But Gavin said, no, we have to go. I want to go. That's it. And we'll also be in Carlisle, Pennsylvania for Ford Nationals this year. There's another event, Southwestern Virginia. It's sort of a smaller event we'll be at. We're going to announce that soon. And yeah, we have a couple of different things around here. So, and we're also looking to get Virginia Broncos Facebook group growing as well, and to get some events going here, which the closest for us is going to be the Outer Banks of North Carolina, do some beach wheeling there. But definitely want to look at doing some stuff up in the mountains as well. That's going to be very cool. Try to put some stuff together there. I did also drive my Bronco today, kind of at work. I was scouting some property for development. And the one thing I figured out is the Bronco is really cool for that. It's fun to drive, but it's very, you can go a lot of places that you can't go in a heavy 250. So I did actually do a little work today. Isn't that fun stuff? Let's see. Oh, let's see. PPF or ceramic coat, go. Okay. G Willikers, I've got a comment on it. It's ceramic coat. The person that I know does a lot of body work says, he's on the fence about it, but definitely better than nothing. Regular waxing could be similar, is what they said. But then ceramic coat has some really good numbers out there. So I like ceramic coating. We are going to have, and I don't know if we'll have it by Supercell, but we're going to have wraps eventually between the front fender and the rear fender, up maybe about 12 inches with our logo on it. And we're going to use a wrap that is going to not replace PPF, but work to help protect the paint. And that's the most vulnerable area right there. And so I'm not doing PPF because of the cost, because I want to spend that money into a wrap, and we're going to go ahead and go with a really good 3M product that's going to give us some protection against the rocks dinging on the side. Which, by the way, I didn't have the heart to look today, but I heard one today that sounded like we took a incoming on the passenger side, and I haven't checked it yet. Yeah, vehicle with PPF on. No, yeah, no, I'm not knocking PPF. The stuff does work, but to me, it's a cost. It's a cost thing. And I figure, well, if I can kind of do the same thing with a wrap, then I'll do it, and then ceramic coat everything else. So that's where we're at. Let's see. Oh wow! Ordered a worn winch through Amazon. Had a M8000 for $100 off. Very good, very good. Uh, Kyle said no food, bar tab. Now it's probably a no either. There, no, this I know that'll be well. The only time that we can really go have fun is when we get back to the hotel and walk to a restaurant, because there'll be none of that. Let's see. I'm going to go negotiate with a PPF, get the Bronco hoods towards Rockville. Mobile Motto, good luck. Hopefully you have a dealer that you can work with. I know we're blessed to have a great working relationship with ours. But I know, man, I see some of these comments on there, and I can't believe some of the stories. Oh, all terrain nations given free hugs. So there you go. That's all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for. Let's see. And look, if I missed your comment tonight, I am so sorry. I appreciate all the interaction, all the comments. It's really, really cool. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Help YouTube let us, tell everyone that we're here, right? Let's see. I was trying to think of something else that I had. I don't know why the snorkel stuff is just like started to consume me. I think it's because the Everglades, which we have a video in general, not just snorkel, but the Everglades in general coming out, and it is a cool trim if that's what you want. I think it's cool. If I got it for cheap enough, I'd buy one. But the snorkel's not my thing, right? I'd have it for a collector. But I really do think it's a nice addition to the Bronco trim levels. And there's something else coming, I do know that for sure. And that, that might be the next trim level to be released might be the one that gets me. Let's see. Lingering moaning hugs. I hear you. I think there'll be pictures with the Bronco Santa also. Yeah, Bronco Santa might be making his list. So, like whoever's going to get the gifts this year, gotta watch how you act there. The Everglades is buildable. Yeah, I get it. And the Bronco Raptor is to say, hey, look at what we can do type thing. And it's really cool. I would drive one. I told you my stance on that. I think my attitude's changing though. If no one raises their hand for it, why not buy one? But I was trying to be, I don't know, try not to be the Bronco hoarder, but whatever. And we're dealing with economic stuff too, so we're not going to get into politics. But we'll see how the environment looks in 2 to 3 months, and hopefully we can get the numbers in the economy under control. I know gas prices actually dropped here. Would you ever think you were excited to see gas drop 3-4 cents, whatever? But yeah, be like other channels and get 5. Yeah, all terrain. There is a bottom to the piggy bank. No, I don't need five, but my daughter said, hey, she would gladly give up her Mustang and drive a Bronco. So, like, in the event, there's me trying to sell it to Becky is like, well, Haley needs another vehicle. She wants a Bronco. I need to replace, that type. You know where I'm going with this. But I have to sell some more houses, by the way. So that's the biggest thing. I paid for, huh? 411. Yeah. I'm assuming. Well, what octane? Because I forget where we were. I filled up today at 93 octane, and I forget what it was for something. I think we didn't make it to five, but we almost made it to five. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I was wondering if the BS ceramic, but oh wow. So G Willikers got antimatter blue. Yeah, that actually saw a two door. I think that was what we call a unicorn, a two door antimatter blue posted this week at a dealer. It showed up. No one. I don't know what happened. I don't know. There's always a story, but it showed up at a dealer, and you've probably seen it. Of course, it's an MIC because two door, but the antimatter blue it was a neat looking vehicle, but definitely is rare. I mean, for that thing to just show up like that, that's pretty cool. Oh, let's see. You're not covering it up. You're preserving it. I hear you. Yep. Very good. You are preserving it. 87 octane. Got it. Thank you. All right. Well, look, everyone. I think I'm gonna go grab some dinner. Anything else we want to hit before we get out of here tonight? G. Williker said, that's why I have, and I don't see the rest of the comment. What? I'm seeing them come in word at a time. I'll keep checking it out. Anything else we want to talk about tonight? Anything I didn't cover? Things that we need to. I'm trying to think of what's new on the forums that I've been checking out. I don't think there's been any really big breaking news or anything like that. Let's see. There was one more Bronco rolled over. That was last week, though. I did see a picture of a Bronco Sport and a Jeep Wrangler was involved in some type of accident. I don't know if you've seen that on the Facebook group. I don't know if it was 6 Gen or 6X. The Bronco Sport was crashed up a little bit in the front, and the Jeep was upside down. It was an interesting picture. I hope everyone's well. Obviously, everyone wished them well out of the event, but it's like, I'm trying to, in my head, picture how all that happened. Who knows? Oh, let's see here. Oh, okay, Kevin, you're up north of us here, Canada. Let's hit the bottle. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, let's see. Someone Facebook advertising Bronco Fest for me. Okay, Bronco 78. That was the other event we were talking about. So that is in the southwestern part of Virginia. I don't know how big the event is. The only thing I've seen the advertisements as well. I had a friend tell me I need to go, whatever that means. Last time he told me I need to go somewhere, we got in trouble. So I'm going to really check it out and make sure, like it's where we want to go. But it might be fun. And, if it's especially for I don't know how long the event's been going, but obviously with the 6 Gen Bronco, whatever you have Bronco is growing. Ford Nationals this year, I hear, is going to be really, really good. Let's see. I can see the south side of Lake Superior from my doorstep. It's like one of those Alaska things. I can see Russia. Let's see. I don't need you guys. Andrea, look, we look forward to meeting you. So when we get there, I don't really know the parking arrangements or anything like that. So I'm assuming that well, I haven't even checked the mail. I don't know. I've had a rough week, but I don't know if we're going to get something telling us where we are, if we just drive in and get our stuff and they park us. But either way, you'll know where we are. It'll be the Area 51 Eruption Green, and I'm sure there'll be Bronco Wild something on it, as well as drivenwildgear.com. And hey, by the way, we have a mascot now. Believe it or not, unique to us. we have a mascot that hopefully next Sunday we'll be able to show everyone. It's going to be kind of cool. He's got a name, and you know what the heck, it's going to be fun. So and better late than never, bringing it down to the wire at the end. So we'll see what goes on from there. All right, everyone. Let's call it a night. Hour and 35 minutes. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. We're trying to have these. Our lives are going to switch up a little bit and become more of a conversation. I greatly appreciate the comments, the feedback, and Becky's help tonight. It really adds to our stuff. We do have another camera angle that we're setting up in here, and it was kind of weird tonight, so I've got to work on that. But we'll try to add some value and add some stuff, and a little more techie stuff, a little more fun stuff. But there's going to be tons of video Supercell. We do have next Sunday night, kind of, what we're packing, what we're getting ready, what we're going with, and kind of where we'll be. So if we're not at the event, we'll be over in Pigeon Forge. You got to look us up. All go hang out somewhere. It'll be a fun time, be a good time. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's hit some of these last comments, and I'm out. The Green Bay covered ice. Yeah, ice fishing in the Great Lakes. That is hardcore there. See you tomorrow. All right, everyone. I'm out, and talk to you later. I appreciate each and every one of you joining me on this Sunday night. Thanks for the kind words that I've heard all week. You've reached out to us. We really do appreciate it. And we'll see you we'll talk to you at least, next Sunday night at 8 p.m. for Extreme Bronco Live here on Bronco Wild Outdoors. All right, watch out for these videos. Yeah, All Terrain Nation. I want to say that. All Terrain Nation has good old Mitchell Watts tomorrow night. Should be fun. Should be interesting. Put in a good word for me. I need to talk to him sometime, Dave. Thank you. You guys are my prayers. RV Dog, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Have a good night, everyone. See ya. Bye.